Hello, friends. Today I want to share a few thoughts with you on the end of John's Gospel. We're going to look at John chapter 20, verses 24 to 31, if you want to read along with me. Thomas, who was called the twin, one of the 12, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see the mark of the nails in his hands, and put my finger in the mark of the nails, and my hand in his side, I will not believe." A week later, his disciples were again in the house, and Thomas was with them. Although the doors were shut, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and see my hands. Reach out your hand and put it in my side. Do not doubt, but believe." Thomas answered him, "My Lord and my God." Jesus said, "Have you believed because you have seen? Blessed are those who have not seen, yet have come to believe." Jesus did many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book, but these are written so that you may come to believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that through believing you may have life in his name. You know, doubting Thomas is what we usually call him, this disciple who missed Jesus' first resurrection appearance to the rest of the group. When he finally does see Jesus, he wants to touch and to feel and to see. Jesus lets him feel, inviting Thomas to touch the wounds on his hands and side, and says to him, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet come to believe." Now, we usually read that statement of Jesus as kind of a subtle rebuke of Thomas, as if Jesus is saying, well, you should have been able to believe without seeing. But I'm not sure that's really what Jesus is doing here. I think Jesus just recognizes that it's going to be harder for the rest of us than it was for those first disciples. It's going to be harder for the rest of us who will come later. Because all that we're left with, really all anybody has ever been left with, is the story. The testimony that's been handed down from generation to generation. The story is all we have, and so the story has to be enough. Jesus intrudes upon that locked room full of disciples to send them out into the world to forgive sin and to tell the story of the risen Christ. And just so, Jesus sends the church out today into a world that only has our testimony to rely upon. Nobody else is going to have the opportunity to touch the wounds of Jesus like Thomas had. So Jesus breathes his Spirit upon the church, and he sends us out to tell his story so that all might know. The church is sent from that locked room and from this sanctuary on Hillsborough Street to show Jesus to the world. And to do this, all we have is the story. All we have is the story, and so we tell that story any way we can. We tell that story with songs and with prayers and with offerings. We tell it by sharing food with our neighbors, by calling shut-ins, by providing scholarships for kids to go to camp. We tell it by giving our time to God. We tell it by giving our resources to God. Because the best way to tell the story of Jesus is with your life. So friends, I wonder how your life will tell the story of Jesus this week. What will the world know about Jesus because of you? Would you pray with me? Gracious God, help my life to shine like a light, pointing others to your amazing grace. Amen. Thanks, friends. Take care. Have a great week.